this is what happened in the Las Vegas GP with Oliver Bearman, who was behind us trying to attack us, but we with Jack Crawford got some points out of the race. But obviously guys, it wasn't that good, obviously, because that, well, crash caused a safety car. I don't know if I really got lucky with that or it was a unlucky thing for me, but we were able to get P8. Obviously we had the pace to at least get around P5 to P6, but starting from P22, even then getting some points was a big deal. So here we are with ARYTON SENNA, who leads the championship by some margin, 38 points for ARYTON SENNA. Obviously George Russell might be able to do something, but it doesn't look like that. So here we are with a problem, and it is celebrity visit, and we are going to decline that, guys, because a morale low on powertrain is going to cost us a little bit too much. That's why I know I am not going to do that. And I thought I declined that, but we have accepted it. But that doesn't matter, guys, it's not a big deal. Let's just go with the training point we had, and I am thinking about what to do this. Obviously I thought about going into engineering, but then I thought let's just go into the personnel department and give that one for that, because obviously guys, we have already done way too many, and we have a regulation change. And look at that, guys, that is a big thing, because we only have 4 weeks to adapt 32 aerodynamics parts. We have 32 parts in the aerodynamics, and obviously we do not have phase 3 right now, so we cannot open the fourth slot in the upgrades. That is annoying, guys, because the problem for us right now is that, well, we won't be able to do all the upgrades. Okay, so but the obviously other drivers, well, other teams won't be able to do all the upgrades too. So obviously we have to now decide which upgrades to do. Obviously this was the first part, was on impulse. I did as many as I could, but now we after that have to decide which upgrade we want to, well, adapt, because obviously guys, we have to decide. And here Carlos Sainz, obviously guys, I do not even have 3.58 million. Obviously that is a little bit lower from Carlos Sainz, because he almost want 4 million in the signing bonus. But obviously guys, I have decided that I am not going to sign Carlos Sainz. But obviously that doesn't matter now, as I was saying, guys, that we now have to decide which upgrades we want to do, and after this we will be doing all those upgrades that are, well, major first of all, and then we will decide which one we need to do, because that is big. And obviously we have to, well, safely understand which upgrade we have to do now, guys, because honestly we will lose many upgrades and we have to decide which one we will lose. So let's just see what we can do in the upgrades. Obviously guys, I was seeing if we had another driver to go for, but obviously we do not, and Jack Doohan will be the choice we will be going for. So let's just see. And the supplier has given all the 8 upgrades in the powertrain. We have one weight reduction upgrade, that is a major one. Let's just give it to, I think Jack Crawford would be the good choice, because we will be driving as Yuki Tsunoda. So we have given it to Yuki Tsunoda and we will be driving as Yuki Tsunoda. Obviously doesn't really matter. So let's just see. Look at that, guys, 6 days for the 3 upgrades to come in. 32 upgrades in the aerodynamics. It's going to be a little difficult. So everything is done here. Let's just see the tire, and we will be going on harder allocation, so that doesn't matter. Let's drive as Yuki Tsunoda in the Qatar GP.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar, a high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
Obviously in the Qatar sprint qualifying, obviously a sprint weekend again. Well, I think the last 2 well, it was, I think, USA, then Brazil, 2 sprint weekends, then we went to Las Vegas. on normal weekend, and then we are again in Qatar for another sprint weekend. So very many sprint weekend at the end of the race, or at the end of the calendar, sorry. So here we are, first laps into the sprint one. Obviously guys, we are the 9th best car on the grid, so it's a little difficult to do anything. And obviously we have not used the newest engine components for Sonoda, because I thought he might not be able to get that for the Abu Dhabi GP, and we will have to use a little bit older one. So that's why on the second run, and Jack Crawford we almost went in through the back of Jack Crawford, but we need to improve guys, because we are P12 and we will be knocked out if we do not improve. So already we have improved a 10th. Obviously we lost a little bit, but here we are in the best part of the track here, because obviously all the right-handers, you just have to use everything, push as much as we can. Obviously you can't do that with traction control on, but that doesn't matter, because rounding out the last corner we have gained 9/10, almost a second using the battery. We have gained a second, race to the line, and we go P5. That will see us through to SQ2. And it has guys, as I was saying guys, the annoying thing for us right now is that in the Qatar GP, because I have traction control, though it is on medium, the problem it causes us is that we lose around 2 to 3 tenths out of the right-handers in that end part of the track, and obviously that cost us a big time. But obviously you can't do anything guys, because it is the reason, traction control is the reason we gain a little bit much better in the first 2 sectors, and that's why you lose in the last sector, because you have traction control on. So obviously these are pros and cons, you can't do much about that. So here we are in the SQ2, and look at that guys, the first turn, the first right-hander, then the second right-hander, you do not lose anything here, but here you lose around half a tenth. But this is the corner guys where I lose around 2 to 3 tenths, because obviously the AI brakes so much in this corner where you don't really need to brake, but obviously we can't do anything about it, because we need that. And here we go P4 with a 123.1, which will not be enough I think guys, but it was. Honestly, with a 123.1 I thought it might be a little difficult, but we were able to get ourselves into P6. That is big guys. The first lap was good enough in the medium tires, and Oscar Piastri is out. So if we can score some big points in this race, we might be able to get ourselves in front of the McLarens. Well, not in front, but in contention to actually fight with them. Obviously they are around I think 30 points in front of us, so we need to do good lap and in the final sprint race, and it is the qualifying for that, and we are not doing a good job on those soft tires. That is not good guys. The first sector, though it might not look good, but because it wasn't good. So here we are, 2 green sectors, and the only part where we lose time, look at that guys, the braking, there is no need to brake that much, but obviously the AI does, and you can't do much about it. So rounding out the last corner, going a little bit wide, but that is not going to cost us a little bit too much. But here, race to the line, DRS, ERS, and we only go with a 123.4, 122.4 in last. But Carlos Sainz again has taken P1 with Ayrton Senna into P2, George Russell P3. So there is going to be a little bit fight for the championship. So guys, let's just go into the sprint race.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. We're back here in Losail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique 3-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Ayrton Senna alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Antonelli, Max Verstappen and Webber, Leclerc, Gasly, Norris and Yuki Tsunoda, Albon, Stroll, Ollie Behrman and Piastri, Doohan, Pepe Marti, Liam Lawson and Lewis Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Mayer, Bortoletto and Jack Crawford rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. And the whole world of Formula One can't exist the way we do, walking with smiles on our faces and loving our time together. This new outfit has got a bit of a rivalry going, and I get the feeling a few noses are being put out of joint here.
Well, that's a good thing though, Crofty. You know what? If you're a member of that team, the new 11th team, take it as a backhanded compliment. It means you're doing very well, too well, and the other teams don't like it.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Let's try and bring some points home today.
And obviously guys, the main goal for us is to get some points, and we will be starting on soft tires. Obviously not always the best tires to start with, but here we go with 3, 4, 5 lights. And here we go for the final sprint race of this season with Max Verstappen into P4, and here goes Sainz with Ayrton Senna going side by side with each other into turn 1, and look at that, behind them Antonelli has overtaken Max Verstappen and George Russell from P3 to P5. He has lost way too many positions, and here we go with our dream start, and look at that, we went through the inside of 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in front, and we have gone into P6. Obviously guys, the people in front like George Russell, he is on medium tires and we can definitely attack him. So he is fighting Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has also overtaken George Russell, means George Russell might have some problem, and we go way too wide out of the corner. But if you saw the little bit downwards, that there is a little bit ICE problem for us, because obviously it is not the freshest one. But here we have an amazing run on George Russell with the medium tires through the inside of George Russell. He can't do anything with the superior grip we have on those soft tires, and that might be a thing which we really needed. We are right now in P5, lap 2 starting, and we have 3 wide with Sainz, Max Verstappen and Antonelli. Look at that, still going side by side, and Sainz have to give space, and now both the Williams are still going side by side, and Sainz has overtaken Antonelli. Antonelli had to give way, but here we got an amazing run on Antonelli into the braking. We have again overtaken Antonelli, and we have taken P4 from P10 to P4, going again a little bit wide, but that doesn't matter, because now guys, we have to say with Sainz, obviously we can say stay in the DRS of Sainz for around 3-4 laps. After lap 5 or 6 it will be a little difficult, because his medium tires will get better, our soft tires will get worse. So here we are on lap 4. Look at that guys, almost losing to Sainz, obviously, because guys the first sector and the second sector I can stay, but here look at the time I will lose here into this corner, and look at that guys, and it's going from 8 tenths to 1.1 tenths. We lose 3 tenths out of this corner. Obviously I can't do anything about it because it is the pros and cons, but here Russell will get the chance to attack us, and he goes for it, and Antonelli tried to go for, but we have to block him, and here can we attack into turn 1? We can't. Russell has overtaken us. Obviously the medium tires on lap 6 are much better on these soft tires, because we are using these soft tires, but they are not feeling good guys. Now after the first 4 laps they are now getting worse and worse, and we have obviously lost the DRS to Carlos Sainz, and then we lost the position to George Russell. Obviously can't do anything about it. So lap 7, here we are really lost to Carlos Sainz and George Russell, but we have to do something here. Let's see what we can do with Antonelli trying to attack us. We have to defend, and Antonelli goes side by side here, but Pierre Gasly will also try to do something, but here we go through the inside of Antonelli. Antonelli got a little bit scared out of the road there, and we have taken our position back. So let's see what we can do for the last 3 laps. We will have to defend as long as we can, because we need these points against the McLaren, who are not scoring any points. So here again at the end of lap 8, here will this time Gasly will be the one attacking us because he has the medium tires. He will be much faster than Antonelli, and he has been through, and we go around the outside, try to do it, and here we see with the POV of Antonelli, but we can't do anything, and Gasly has taken P5 from us. We have to now go for P6. Obviously it is getting a little difficult to defend against the medium tires because look at that, the front left is already at 55%, so we have to do something about that. And look at that, guys, our ICE is 60%. this is the one which is the fourth component of the ICE. We have already taken a penalty for ICE, which we will be using in the main race, but here we are with the final lap. Antonelli will try to attack us, and he has gone around the outside. That is the worst place, and Weber comes for it, but we have overtaken both these guys into turn 1, braking a little bit later than both the drivers, and we have taken the P6 and we can stay in front. But who has stayed in front for the longest was ARYTON Senna, who wins against Max Verstappen, and Russell only P4, Sainz though P3 for him, and Russell has obviously lost a little bit more time, little bit more points to Senna, but here we are into P6. What an amazing race. This is obviously going to get us closer to the McLarens, and as I was saying, guys, Senna, if nothing happens, might be able to win the championship in this race, which is crazy to think. But obviously ARYTON Senna has the point, and George Russell wasn't able to outscore him. So let's just see what happens in the main race for that. But we are right now looking for us. We got P6. Lando Norris is not even in the top 14. That is good. Oscar Piastri in P12, and obviously Jack Crawford got himself P22, but that doesn't matter to us, guys, because we need to score as many points as we can. And obviously let's see the points table for us, and McLaren a little bit in front, so we can definitely do something about it. Let's just go into the qualifying.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar, a high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race, so welcome along.
So here we are in the qualifying with all new components. This time, guys, we are not taking anything lightly here. So let's just go with Calimere, who is in front of us. Obviously Calimere in the Mercedes will be able to do a better lap than me, so getting this close to her isn't going to hurt us that much. So let's see what we can do in this lap here. The best part of the track, which we lose the time the most at. So let's just see what we can do with the purple first sector, green second sector, into the final corner, going a little bit through the inside of those curves, using all the battery, using the battery DRS, and we go P3. We go P3 with a 122.9, though we are a second behind Carlos Sainz, guys, but that is big because it was so difficult for me to get into 122. It was so hard, and this lap wasn't even a good one for us, and we were able to get ourselves into Q2. And Jack Crawford got a penalty for what was he doing in the qualifying that he had to take a 5-place grid penalty while qualifying in P19? So that doesn't matter to us. We need to be the one scoring big points here for us. So let's see what we can do in the first lap in those new set of soft tires, because obviously, guys, trying to get ourselves into Q3 with only one lap, that is going to be helpful. Let's see what we can do on this lap. Look at that, guys, how close we are getting to the curbs, learning the racing lines here, which is very helpful for us. So 122.3 for the George Russell. We just need to be in 122.7 or 6, and we should be getting ourselves into Q3. So here DRS, ERS, and we go 122.7. Perfect timing for us, and a 121.6 for Ayrton Senna. What are these guys doing? What are these guys doing? And that's why, guys, I had to go out again. I know that if I did not go out, we might be able to get ourselves out of Q2. So we need to do a good lap, and this might be fine margins for us. Let's see how much we can gain on a new set of tire again. And I was wrong, guys. I was definitely wrong, because I thought it will be fine margins. But look at that, guys. We have gained almost 5 tenths, and it is because I am following some driver which I don't even know who that is. And that is George. So okay, my goodness, that was way too close. I think he must have already done his lap. And because obviously, guys, when you be behind some driver, you can get, you can imagine the racing line better, and that is going to help us gain 5 tenths, and that is going to get us into 122.2. So around the last corner using the battery. Now we have almost gained 6 tenths. Battery over, but DRS open, race to the line. We get ourselves into P4. That is honestly much bigger than expected from me. Only 5 tenths behind Max Verstappen, but Oscar Piastri is out of Q2. That is big for us. So guys, one lap we already did on a used set of tires in Q3. It doesn't matter, it was a bad lap at that. So here for the final lap on the new set of tires, not getting the best start here, but that doesn't matter. We have to finish the best here. Let's see, can we do it with 1/10 gain already in the first 5 corners? Let's see what we can do. Look at that first sector. Can we get it purple? Let's see, using the battery a little bit to get myself the purple first sector, and we have definitely done that. Obviously, if we can get the first 2 sectors the best, the third sector, if we lose 3 tenths here, it's not going to hurt us that much. But here, let's see what we can do with 5 tenths, 6 tenths gain. Obviously this corner, because we are comparing to ourselves, we will gain some time, and we have done that through the final corner with a 122.9 we did in the last lap. Let's see what we can do in the final sector. 9 tenths gain, almost a second. We are going to get ourselves in the 121s, and we get it. We are into P4, just 2 tenths behind George Russell, who has taken it from Ayrton Senna only in P7. This might be big for George Russell. If he get himself into the win, he might be able to win this not win, but significantly cut Ayrton Senna's championship lead. So guys, let's just go into the race and see that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once more to the Middle East for what could be a very tricky night for our drivers tonight. Sandy, dusty, and with the sun setting, the temperature dropping too. This could be an intriguing event. Stand by for the Qatar Grand Prix. We're back here in Losail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique 3-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Tsunoda, Mayer, and Stroll, Piastri, Albon, Webber, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Behrman, Norris, Pierre Gasly, and Senna, Pepe Marti, Verstappen, Nico Hulkenberg, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Crawford, Lawson, Hamilton, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. And the whole world of Formula One can't exist the way we do, walking with smiles on our faces and loving our time together. This new outfit has got a bit of a rivalry going, and I get the feeling a few noses are being put out of joint here.
Well, that's a good thing though, Crofty. You know what? If you're a member of that team, the new 11th team, take it as a backhanded compliment. It means you're doing very well, too well, and the other teams don't like it.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Only a few places away from a points finish last race. We're hoping you can do it today.
So can we do something in this race? We have to find that out. So let's see what we can do, and let's just go into the race with a medium to hard strategy for us. So with 3, 4, 5 lights, and here we go for the Qatar GP with George Russell into P1 with Charles Leclerc into P3, because he has already been overtaken by Carlos Sainz around the outside. He goes for it, but we through the inside. Sonoda has taken it and it's still going side by side. 3 wide for Sonoda, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz still 3 wide. First 4 corners, they are not giving each other any space, but Max Verstappen is a little bit behind, but Sainz had to give that place to Charles Leclerc, and there was 2 wide then. And let's just see what happens here. And we got a really amazing start with Yuki Tsunoda into turn 1. Look at that, 3 wide. Obviously we went a little bit wide out of turn 1, because obviously that is the racing line you take. But after a little bit, while I saw that we had 2 drivers, I cut across the track because I wanted to give them space, and Carlos Sainz obviously gave space to Charles Leclerc, and we pushed Charles Leclerc wide a little bit so that we can get ourselves into P2. And obviously it will be very difficult to catch up to George Russell, but guys, we will still try to catch up to George Russell. Let's see what we can do in this race now. The goal should be to get George Russell, but at the end of lap 2, even with a purple second sector, George Russell still has the fastest lap. Look at that, guys. We got a much better lap than George Russell, but here Tsunoda getting attacked by Carlos Sainz, and we have to overtake him a little bit too into turn 1, going a little bit too inside of the curb, because obviously guys, it takes a little bit time to understand where you have to turn in, and obviously you need to do at least, I think, 100 laps to 100% get where you have to turn in at every corner in one particular track. So that's why I am not hurting about it, because we are getting better and better as the laps go by, because we are trying to do our best. And here lap 7, these guys are trying to attack us, and there goes Charles Leclerc, but we switch back on Charles Leclerc. That was a beautiful switch back from us. Obviously he tried to do something, but it doesn't work like that, because he obviously tried to do my strat where he breaks late, very late, and tried to attack us. But obviously guys, we have enough understanding of the game that we know how to defend against that. And here getting a little bit bad exit, but here goes Charles Leclerc trying to go side by side with us, but we know we can stay in front because we had the racing line. And obviously guys, if you remember in the last game cycle F124, we had a similar coming together with Charles Leclerc in the same corner where we went side by side with him. Obviously that time Charles Leclerc crashed into us, got his tire taken out, and we were still safe. But here Sainz will try to attack us, but guys, again, we know how to defend against these kind of similar threats. But obviously it is easy to defend against them because we have the tires. But on lap 9 the tires are fading away and these guys are getting better, but we turn 1, it's not that easy, and we have overtaken Carlos Sainz, and we had a yellow flag. What was it for? And it's Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz has spun. Let's see again guys, because I don't think I am the one who did that. Let's back it up a little bit. See Sainz POV, and he into turn 1 try, and look at that, we were not the one who caused any kind of crash with Carlos Sainz. He just tried to use the grip he had on those medium tires, but I think he overestimated how much grip he has on those medium tires, tried to push away, and obviously guys, he then spun. And obviously because you get a little bit angry, he still went on the throttle, didn't really work for him. So here we are at the start of lap 11. Sainz has been taken out, but Charles Leclerc will try to go for it, but we around the outside of Charles Leclerc, around the outside, which becomes now the inside of Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc can't do anything, and we have defended our position, and I must say very properly, to say the least, because obviously guys, we haven't had many proper battles or defense against the AIs, but this time I am defending it as purely as I can, not taking any kind of big mistakes or trying to get into the driver's bargeboard or anything. And we on lap 12 have went into the pits, and obviously it was a little bit of a weird entry, but guys, if you haven't seen the leaderboard, the problem for us is that Piastri is already in P5. So it might cost us a little bit on the championship, but here we can't get a proper pit stop here, guys. Las Vegas, and then Qatar, even in the US GP, even in the Brazil GP, every race I have had in the last 4 races, I have not had a single pit stop in which we got a 2-second pit stop. Even a 3-second pit stop would have worked. I think the last time we got a good pit stop was Singapore. No, not even Singapore we got a good setup. That is freaking annoying, guys, because obviously this might cost us the chance to at least get P2, because Piastri is right up on us and we need to stay in front. But guys, let's just not get annoyed, and here is Calimere. We go around the outside of Calimere. At least we have overtaken her, but the problem for us is that Charles Leclerc is still in front and he will be staying in front. But guys, obviously we still have a little chance to attack Charles Leclerc because our tires are already warmed up for 2 laps. We can definitely try to attack Charles Leclerc. Look at that, how close we are to Charles Leclerc, because her tires are still very cold. And look at that, at the end of lap 14, even after losing 3 tenths, we still have the chance to attack Charles Leclerc, though he's running away 5 tenths. But obviously the DRS is so effective here in the Qatar GP, using the battery, everything we have through the inside. Charles Leclerc defends, but we around the inside pushes a little bit on Charles Leclerc. We have overtaken Charles Leclerc back. That is big. We have overtaken Charles Leclerc, and now we get ourselves into P2. Obviously guys, Russell doesn't really matter because he is already 13 seconds in front, and we need to defend against these guys for 14 laps. But now on lap 19, we haven't really had to defend against these guys for the last 4 laps, but now it gets a little difficult because their tires are getting better and better because they are in the working range. But here Charles Leclerc still can't do anything, guys, because our tires are also in working range, so it might not be that easy for Charles Leclerc to attack us. So lap 20 has been defended. Now we have 3 laps to defend, but here at the end of lap 21 we have already defended against him in lap 21. Obviously guys, the thing is, in the last couple of laps Charles Leclerc attacks 1 lap and then the next lap he can't really attack, so that is helping us. But here this time it's ARYTON Senna, we have to defend against him, but we went way too through the inside and we chop across Carlos Sainz. Well, not Carlos Sainz, that was ARYTON Senna. We chop across him and we have stayed in front this time, and Charles Leclerc have also overtaken Senna there, obviously guys, because Ferrari is easier to defend than ARYTON Senna. Let's see what we can do against him. Obviously it might get a little bit worse and worse from here, but I think we can definitely do something. So we had a yellow flag for something, I don't know what it was for, but it doesn't matter. So look at that, guys, again getting a little bit worse on those hard tires, because guys, I might not tell you that, but I am pushing 100% flat out, so that's why we are using these tires a lot more than it should be. But here Sainz can't do anything because it is Charles Leclerc and he goes for it through the outside, but through the inside we go, and Senna tried to be cheeky about it. He tried to go through the inside, guys, but we have the pace to defend against ARYTON Senna. ARYTON Senna can't do anything. But guys, the problem for this is, if Senna finishes even in P4, he is winning the championship. So even if George Russell wins the race, he won't be able to get anything. And honestly, I don't really like that is going to happen. But honestly guys, I am not going to play favorites here, because it doesn't really matter to us, because it's Red Bull and we are also fighting for our championship, which is with McLaren, who are right now in P4 with Piastri, and Sainz is losing a little bit time here, and here goes Ayrton Senna. Look at that guys, how close he was. Even though my ERS is on hot lap, Senna can attack us. That is crazy guys, he just has way too much pace. But obviously guys, this time in Qatar you don't really have to brake that much, and the only place you can actually overtake is the start finish straight. So lap 25 at the end, starting lap 26, Senna will try to do something, but obviously guys, we are using all the battery we had. Senna can't do anything, he can't even reach us. That's how far in front we were, and that is not, though it looks easy, it wasn't really easy. And let's see on this lap guys, lap 27, look at how much time I lose to George Russell, and there goes Ayrton Senna trying to attack us because he is getting impatient, and because of that we are also losing time to George Russell, though it doesn't really matter. But guys, obviously it is a little bit of self-respect thing to lose 21 seconds to George Russell. Though we are P9 in the racing index, it still hurts. So here Senna trying to overtake us, but we through the inside have defended that position, and that is going to cost us. Defending that position like that is going to cost us, because Piastri has overtaken Senna, and then after this will be the last lap. But the problem is guys, if McLaren scores P3 and we only score P2, that is only 3 points, and obviously McLaren have around 30-35 points lead already, so we will be done for. So here, can we do something? Starting up the final lap right now through the last corner of lap 28, and George Russell is already 21 seconds in front. Obviously guys, it might look bad, but we are the 7th best car on the grid, so well, 9th best car on the grid. That still I feel like is good. But here on the final lap, Piastri was decently understandable enough that he knew that if he attacks me, he might lose the position, and obviously we had a little bit pace in front of Piastri. He was not able to attack us, and the problem for us starts now guys, because we are low on fuel. We in Qatar GP are low on fuel, but nothing happens to George Russell. He started P1 and now he ends his race in P1 in the Qatar GP guys. But obviously it's not enough for him to do anything, because Senna is in P4. But here we are rounding up the last corner. We have saved enough of our fuel. Let's see what we can do. Low fuel mode already. And we have scraped it by. We have scraped P2 by. What an amazing feeling. But guys, the thing is, Ayrton Senna has won his 3rd championship. He was P7 at the start, got himself some big position, and he's now
so the celebrations
in
begin,
P4.
and well earned they are indeed. It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
Obviously, Ayrton Senna at the start of the season had some DNFs, bad luck for him, but he has recovered from it, and he has recovered from it very well. Obviously, guys, McLaren getting attacked by us was now a pipe dream because we have already lost touch to them. Because look at that, even Lando Norris got P10 and Piastri got P3, so that is 16 points against my own 18 points. So yeah, it is done. But Ayrton Senna has won the championship. What an amazing thing. Obviously, look at that, guys, we are now 29 points behind the McLarens, and we won't be able to do anything about it. But amazing work for them. So we have obviously lost all the money, and we have lost the rivalry already to McLaren. But obviously, guys, these things happen. I'm not going to take anything by heart because obviously it was just one race rivalry. It doesn't really matter. But guys, what an amazing race in the Qatar GP. If you are enjoying these videos, guys, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.